Alright, Great Rising. Great Rising. Alright. Facebook is doing something new. Great Rising, y'all. Sacred Woman, Queen Afua, copyright 2000. Queen Afua, Helen O. Robinson. Hold on, let me get ready to catfish early. I ain't got time for that shit today. I ain't got time. Great Rising, y'all. Great Rising. Great Rising, Unique. Great Rising. I know I can't hide from you, Unique. I know you'll hunt me down. You'll hunt me up. Great Rising. Alright, peace and power. Tanya Neal, Ty Gemini, Carlotta. Sister Nas, I love you. Alright, Great Rising. Look, so I ain't gotta be sitting in the shadows. Now look, I had a plan to bust a pimple so I wouldn't look like the herpes coming before you. But now I have a scab and the bitch hurt too bad to get the seed out. That's peace too though. Hopefully you know me well enough to know that I'm the one person in the world who would tell you if it was the herpes. I would actually name the motherfucker and be like, damn, Bob actually is back. But we gonna check that out too. As it turns out, in my single life, you get a bump on your face, you can call it a pimple and keep going. When you're in a relationship, you have to go to the clinic just to be on the safe side. Look, true story. I'll probably go live from the clinic too and shit. Yeah, but I love y'all. Let's get it popping. Great Rising, Kizzy, Amina, Tanisha, Lashana. Yeah, so I'm introducing you to Bob because what I'm not gonna do is sit in the shadows and shit. Like, the fuck? Great Rising, y'all. Great Rising. Shit. Great Rising. Alright, here we go. I chilled over the weekend as promised. So I don't know where we are. I guess around page 51, 52. 51, 52. Let me confirm that. Alright, let me see. Alright, we actually in, I think 53. And that's how I work with. Yeah. Alright. Hold on. Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, so we did read all this. So we're picking up on page 56, actually. Page 56, actually. Great Rising, Great Rising. Page 56, Sacred Womb Circle, Healing Ritual for the Wombs of the World. Great Rising, Dawn. Peace, Lachelle. Great Rising, Great Rising, Great Rising. Alright. Great Rising. Alright, here we go. Hold on right quick. There's something else I need to tell you. Give me a minute. Let me change this track so I can focus. That'll help me one. Hold on. Hold on. Damn. I love you, sis. I do. I love my brothers too. I'm just talking to a sister specifically. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a pen. Give me a minute. Gosh. Alright. One piece. I just gotta take some notes. Hold on. Okay. That's peace. Now if I need to write, I can. Great rising. Great rising. Great rising. Okay, turn it down. All right. We're picking up at Cry River of Tears. I showed you the last time we were together a clip from For Colored Girls where they stood around in a circle on a rooftop and each of them took a turn saying, "My love is too sanctified," or "My love is too, my love is too." To Saturday night, we heard a few of them. Our Cry River of Tears is a segment in the womb circle that helps you to release. It's hard to heal. Like I mean, you've heard it. I think now it may even be trending. Like if you can't speak it, you can't heal it. Really, it's like going to the doctor. If you don't tell them what itch or what burn, then they ain't gonna be unable to assist you. You know. So you have to acknowledge and often verbalize where the pain is, because that's one of the first and easiest steps to getting it together. So I Cry River of Tears. This is where we're picking up. If you got the book, we're on page 56. Alright. Okay, like legit. If it's your first time with us and you're here for healing, that's peace. And if it's your first time with us and you're not here for healing, you just here because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't have a goddamn thing else to do, don't say shit. That way you can actually stay here with us. You know, you're welcome, but you have to be in a quiet space in the beginning, because like we don't really fuck with catfish too tough, and we really sensitive about our shit. That's peace. So again, if it's your first time here, aside from a peace and or a power, I need you to be quiet. Speaking of, I just got off a call with a sister, right? It really made me mad. It made me sad, because she done went through it with some man, and that hurts me. That hurts me when our unions aren't sacred. It hurts me. I wonder what are we used to that, like, what are we used to that's okay. I was just telling Say the other day, I naturally never felt like a man could cheat on me, you know, or like I don't even feel like you can use me, really. Like you can't even use me. Like what the fuck? Like man, be like, you used me for sex, motherfucker. Like you didn't show up for the sex too. We both you wasn't good. We wasn't even Steven when we left. Listen, so I always struggled with the idea that somebody had cheated on me. And then in the times in my life where I was cheated on by a man, like I would be sitting there like not knowing what the fuck to do. And let me tell you a sad story. I'm gonna tell you who told me what to do. Lisa. Lisa Left Our Lopes. Remember what it was? Andre Rising. She told me what to do. Waiting to Exhale. You remember? He left with that white woman. She showed me what to do. Look. Jasmine Sullivan. What she say? She bust the windows out the car. She told me what to do. I'm saying there's some examples out there of what to do, but we know what not to do. We know what doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. It pains me that those are our unions. It pains me that those are our unions, and those are our examples. Those are our trainings, our tools. Subconsciously, those are the things that we've logged away. So when we have conflict, those are the things we typically resort to. That fucking hurts. That sucks. Listen, maybe cutting up a nigga shit or busting a nigga shit, or brother maybe hitting this bitch in the face, whatever the fuck. I'm just trying to talk to you how you understand. Whatever the fuck used to work. Okay, let's say when you assess your life and you realize that it ain't shit. I don't mean to offend you. I don't mean like not ain't shit. It ain't shit like what you thought it would be, right? It's not shit as grand as what you imagined. I need you to document all the tools you've used, how you communicate, how you resolve conflict, how's your initiative, how's your commitment, how's your drive, your will, your introspection, self-critique and self-assessment. Like, you gotta, like, real shit, get into these things because these are your tools. These are what you've been using to get yourself right where you are. And if you're not happy with where you are, then it's got to do with the tools you use, you know? Don't use the same old tools. The busting a nigga head, the cutting somebody's shit up, the cussing somebody the fuck out. Like my sister say, show your whole ass. Don't show them the whole ass, sis. Don't even give them a piece of the ass, sis. Put that sacred ass back in the circle, sis. Back in the circle, sis. Back in the circle. Don't do it. Like this, and then I'm in closing. Like, it sound crazy. I told sis, when you, like, if you ever been in AA, NA, anger management, you know, it's all the same blueprint. They give you a something to do when you feel a trigger, or something to say, or something to do. You know what I'm saying? Even the church condition you with an amen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the appropriate time to say amen. Use your voice as your power. Listen, you can go argue back and forth with a motherfucker, back and forth. Hey, motherfucker you, bitch, you crazy, nigga, you crazy, fuck you too, or not. Like, you can really bebop back and forth with a nigga, or, like, listen, this gonna sound ridiculous, but it was a while back, right? I had saw on TV, I think, like, listen, I ain't always been sacred. I think it was Lil Scrappy Mama, right? Mama D. I don't know. I fuck with Mama D though, cause she taught me. Mama D taught me. Like I said, my uncle taught me fair exchange ain't no robbery. Understand? Uncle G taught me that cool pop. Fair exchange ain't no robbery. That's G shit. But Mama D taught me even swap ain't no swindle. As above and so below. That's some equal G shit. So I fuck with Mama D. But this was this episode of like Love and Hip Hop or some shit where Mama D is like going back and forth with somebody and, you know, arguing in a clothing store. It might have been Rashida or somebody. And Mama D reaches in her bag. Like, she just shut the fuck up. Mama D reaches in her bag on everything. She pulls out what looks like a nest, like a bird nest. The motherfucker looked like a bundle of a bun of straw. She put that bitch on the floor. Then she started talking some shit. But everybody's distracted and shit. But listen, was that a little far-fetched? It was. But it was also black magic. I used to walk with sage bundles. Not even because I was like burning away negative energies. I realized that when I burn sage, I only attract the type of people that I want close to me. When I'm burning sage, people who recognize sage or who are curious about Sankofa or ancient practices, they ask questions. What is that? Where did you get that? What does it do? How does it work? People who feel like people who are a threat to my well-being because they're still afraid of who they are. People who don't know that God really are dangerous. Because if you don't know you God, you don't know who I am either. It take one to know one. You understand what I'm saying? So the same way it'll scare off a certain people. And I need them people scared off. I'm be walking out here through the block. You damn sure right. Because that stick ain't scaring no goddamn body. And neither is that motherfucking dog. A nigga beat and shot me or raped me and my motherfucking dog. But the sage bundle, surprisingly, does something. Not only is it keeping insects and shit away, it's keeping men's sex away. You don't say. Listen, your ancient practices are there for a reason. The next time you're in conflict, immediately stop. No, not, you're going to bless these niggas, and I said you're going to bless these niggas with your sacred silence, and that's going to be the first thing. Because when you shut the fuck up, niggas know shit is fucking brewing, okay? Like I told my sister, sit in a meditative position and just rock. This is going to do several things. One, it's going to immediately calm your nerves. One, it's going to immediately sit and rock. Sit in an imaginary sacred circle and rock. Let me tell you what it's going to do. It's going to calm your nerves right away. The spirit, the jinn, right? I told you, right? Only portal I know is the back of the neck. I do know that to be true. That the spirit get in the back of the neck and that would be like, shit, even when they get ready to fight, be like, shit, nigga, what's up? Yeah. It's the portal at the back of the neck. Anyway, anytime the jinn or the evil spirit, the bad energy, the negative energy, the devil, the demon, call it what you want. Anytime you need an exorcism, one of the first things you should do is change your position. Anything that's uncomfortable, you make anything uncomfortable by changing its position of comfort. Alright? So if a negative or evil energy and guiding you, somebody take you off your block, make it uncomfortable. Change your position, your physical position right away. Like I said, sit, throw your ass in a circle, and just rock. Immediately, this will calm you.
I ain't bullshitting. Immediately, this will calm you. The second thing it's gonna do, true shit, is alert niggas around you that it's about to go all the way the fuck up. They don't know what to expect, but they know something is coming, and get what? They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't want shit to do with it. They're going to take one of two positions, and there is no middle. They're going to either want to shut the fuck up and find out what is really going on so they can have a better understanding, or they just going to let that whole shit go. Sit and rock, right? First thing it's going to do is calm you. Second thing it's going to do is alert and or calm those around you, right? And finally, because this is ancestral, yeah, we're not rocking babies just because it puts them to sleep. Your grandma didn't have a rocking chair just for the fuck of it. Them white folks didn't come through and make the lazy boy recliner a rocking chair that was supposed to be given to the man. Listen, you don't even understand how they did the swap and swindle. Because that wasn't no fair exchange, that was a robbery. Black woman, your grandmother, your grandmother's mother, your grandmother's mother used to have a rocking chair. And she used to rock because that was ancestral. When you get stressed out, you do it. They even do it in movies, little children in distress. Listen, that's completely natural, right? Sit and rock. Yeah, by design, they know as long as black women are sitting in these wooden chairs, because there's power in the wood too, as long as black women sitting and rocking in these wooden chairs, they're getting too many signals. You ever seen a movie called The Stand? I believe it was like maybe 7 to 9 individuals in an apocalyptic time frame that all got the same visions from a black woman. And anytime they got to this black woman, she was sitting in the middle of a field, like at her house in the middle of a field on the porch in a wooden chair, rocking. Listen, by design, they took the rocking chair out of the household and made the big lazy boy recliner, called it after a man, and put a man in your seat. Listen, sacred sister, reawaken. Your king is waiting on you. Your king is waiting on you, okay? All right, sit and rock. Except first thing it's going to do is immediately calm your nerves. Second thing it's going to do is get niggas the fuck together that's around you, okay? And third, because it's ancestral, it's going to call on your help. Understand? It's going to call on your backup. Where you be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck. Once you start rocking, you don't have to know what the fuck. I promise you. That is also how you flash the Ankh light in the sky. It is. It is. How would you respond if you saw your baby like this? If you saw your baby sitting down, rocking, and you could sense discomfort, where would you be? Right on the fucking problem. You would be on your baby's problem like white on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm. Your mama ready to do the same shit. Just sit and rock. That's a good and quick way to call home. That's peace. Alright. And that's me on anger management. Moving on to page 56. But let's get this affirmation in. I give thanks to Queen Afua for being a beacon of light on my journey. Alright. Here we go. I am a distinctive, beautiful flower and a healing herb with a heart, a mind, breast, buttocks, and a womb. I come with sacred earth medicine to heal myself. Alright. Let's do this. Get your shit together, sis. Brother, get your shit together. Today is your first day of freedom. Stop tolerating fuck shit. Call it out. Call it out. All of it. All of it. From the boss to the bossy people in your life. Everybody gets respectfully called out on their fuck shit. And I'm even giving you the right to abuse people with this line like they've been abusing you. I don't mean no disrespect, but... And then you go in and disrespect the shit out their ass. Just make sure that you don't... make sure you're getting yours in, okay? Self-preservation. I'm not teaching you to be selfish. I'm teaching you self-preservation. There is no way that you can be holy without being whole. There is no way that you can be whole if you continue to compromise yourself and give up pieces of yourself every day to everybody all the time with no refill. Can you get a refill? That's peace. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. If you don't have no book yet, what you being patient for? You ordered one already? You ordered one from me? If you ordered one from me and you ain't got it, email me. Email me so I'll know. But we shipped out some stuff Saturday. I don't know how Saturday work. I'm thinking maybe they just take packages and money and then they don't do shit until the business week starts again, but I don't know for sure.
Um, oh no, what's going on, sis? Alright, I gotta go check on my sister when I finish. Yeah, I love y'all. Man, I love y'all. I really do be wondering, I say this from the top of my heart, I wonder if bad things have stopped happening to me. It's gonna sound ridiculous. I wonder if bad things have stopped happening to me. Like, cause I know when I started this journey, me and you, we had equal rough shit going on. I'd be like, but have a nigga ever put a gun to your head? And you'll be like, one time it was a nigga and his brother each on one temple. Be like, damn. And I'd be like, but have you ever had sex with one man and he was rough? Have you ever had sex with two men and both of them was rough? And I'd be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm like, have you ever got like favor after favor after favor after favor? And you'd be like, shit fucked up, sis. I'd be like, have you ever got blessing after blessing after lesson after lesson? And be like, shit, I'm fucked up, I'm down bad right now. And I'm thinking, something has happened. Something has happened. Either bad shit has stopped happening to me. I'm not going to talk about you because I don't know what the fuck is going on in your life. Either bad shit has stopped happening to me, or my perception has changed so much that I don't see bad shit happening to me. I don't know which one it is. But if I was looking at your life, I would be wondering, why is bad shit happening to my reflection? Is it their perception or nah? Listen, you're going to have to do some work. Like I said, remember, we're not going to get through with the book if we have to keep going back. Remember, you got to find your increase. Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get the book in 2 days. I think an Amazon Prime membership is $99 a year or $10 a month. They won't let me get Sacred Woman from Amazon Prime. I don't. You on preoccupy.com is $30. The $20 ticket plus tax plus shipping. Yeah, it's $30 on my site, preoccupy.com. And so you can get it for about $15 if you have Amazon Prime. Try to support a black bookstore first. That'd be my thing. Try to support a black bookstore. That's what I do. I did buy some off Amazon, but after I bought 100 off Amazon, and I give thanks that over 316 books, over 316 Sacred Woman books have passed through my hands. Yeah, after that one time where I ordered 100 of them on Amazon and then they didn't ship them all. They also won't let me purchase it from Amazon anymore. Like, I can buy Sacred Woman on Amazon, but I can't purchase it from Amazon. But that's peace too, though, because like I said, all it did was put me in a position. Like, it's it's so peace, because that means that when I was giving the book away for free, because I gave away 100 books, when I was giving away the book for free, I was able to get the book for $14, $13.76 or something, and didn't have to pay shipping, and I probably did pay tax, but who fucking knows. Either way, it's peace, because I got the discount when I was giving the books away. Mama took care of me. That's what I'm talking about too. I just said I had to buy a whole bunch of shit. And I just said the folks told me that I can't use Amazon no more. And I just told you how the fuck to buy the book from somebody besides me for half the price. You're like, where the fuck is your head at? It's in my increase. It's in my increase. Because the way my light is set up and the way my eye is set up, anytime anything happen, I'm not bullshitting. It don't take maybe I used to have to practice, but now I don't. Now, anything that happened to me, I see favor. Saying I went to see a new house the other day, and he's like, it's, like telling us what could go where and how it will, how this one could be the one. And then he's like, when we leaving, he's like, damn. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. It's just that somebody else pulled in to see the house as soon as we pulled out. Like, they was waiting on us to finish. I'm like,
And that's peace too. I appreciate that. That let me know that mother not gonna let me get up in no shit that I'm not supposed to be in. Because if I had the power to do what the fuck I want to do, and I can jack up some paperwork, put some janky shit down, you know how the fuck we do, manipulate some things, get in any fucking property I want to, probably one I can't fucking afford and shit, then be put the fuck out. Me and all my fraudulent papers and shit. Nah. I hope somebody do pull up. I hope they do. I hope they do. It might be mole in that bitch that I didn't know about. I need somebody else to pull up because if mother don't want me in there, I won't be in there. And that's peace. They taught me in the church, they were like, what God has for you is for you. Can't nobody take what God has for you. It's the same thing. It's the same shit, man. That's why that God shit resonated with you for so long. And I told you that too. And if a nigga give you your truth back, and yeah, like if you come up out of a coma and shit, and I be calling you Huckleberry fucking Finn, and I be like, yeah, your name's Huckleberry fucking Finn, and you're gonna be like, okay. And then every time I fucking call you Huckleberry, you're gonna forget to look. But if I be like, hey sis, a peace reflection, you're gonna turn around and something gonna resonate. Like you don't know if that's your name, but something gonna resonate. It's gonna be easier you to respond to that shit and accept that shit because something resonates. Christ resonated with you, didn't he? Jesus and God, it resonated, didn't you? It did because it's yours. And that's peace too. Find your increase. God said you had increase. Look for it every day. Because when you look for it, you'll find it. You remember that time you was going through so-and-so phone and shit? You was looking for it. Yeah, you found it, didn't you? Sam, when you look for it, you'll find it. And that's peace. So let's go ahead and get pushing because we've been here probably for an hour and we still haven't cried a river of tears. Yeah. Valerie Nelson, pull your book out. Pull your book out. Pull your book out. It's wartime. It's wartime and you have a tool. Because it's definitely not just a book. Like I said, it's a guide. It changed my life. It changed my life and it changed the lives of those around me. It said for me it was just a book. Then I started reading it and I started healing from hurts I didn't know I had. So it's definitely power. I've been reading it every day during power hours. You see my book for a very long time. This guy has definitely not been shelved. Yeah, I got my diagrams, like my family call it my spell book. My diagrams and my herbs, my libation notes. Yeah. Listen, you got it. Fuck you, I know you got it. All right, let's get it pushing. Let's come on, I'm ready. My mama gonna be like, are you gonna read? Is Queen Mother here? Queen Mother probably would already told me. All right, Queen Mother, I did see a message about the package, so I'm gonna keep my eye on the swivel. All right, here we go. Page 56, a sacred womb circle, healing ritual for the wombs of the world. It's painful to remember what your womb remembers, all the things that were said or weren't said. As the weeks go on, you may find your journal filling up with issues and feelings that you've been holding down. But who you are is made up of every one of those experiences that may have been pent up inside until now. And now is when the pain is coming up. And now is when it needs to be felt, really felt. Yeah, it's okay to cry because tears make you whole. They're a libation to the spirit, a washing of the soul, a renewal. Whenever I hear the stories the Sister Queen share, I often cry inside. And I'm never quite sure if they're my tears for my life or their tears, or a combination of womb tears all over the earth. One of the things that's happening to this planet is that we're bleeding to death. The planet is dying, but we can restore it to wellness by just keeping our womb circles together and being committed to our womb wisdom, a wisdom that can rebirth us all. All right, hold on one second. Let me see what's going on. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. All right. Let me say you got slack, busy with life, and missing power hours. Make a difference immediately. You did. It did. If you have an altar, if you're going through Sacred Woman, I presume that you have an altar. Not because it's mandatory, but because it's natural. Naturatory. That's peace. Damn, I like that. Listen though, like I said, when I started, all I wanted to do was, I was in a house where there were so many people, all I wanted to do was create a quiet space that I could go to every day and sit down and read my book and meditate. And once I designated a quiet space that I could meditate, I had just my incense and just my candle, okay? Now one is so that it feel holy. I got a At that time, I didn't know what a frankincense was. All I knew about frankincense was they brought some of that with some myrrh to Jesus when he was born. Okay, brought some of that shit through in a manger. I believe 3 wise men did it. So I'm reading about it. Say something about some frankincense. I go get me some frankincense incense and shit. Frankincense incense, that's peace. The other stuff costs a little more. So I got me frankincense incense, and when I say candle, I had a tea light, family. Not even a tea light that I had went and bought the multi-pack from the dollar store because my money wasn't set up too tight. I had got a tea light out of somebody else's oil burner. So now I got a placemat from the kitchen. I got a placemat, I got an incense, and I got a tea light. And that's where I read my Sacred Woman book at. My sisters will tell you because I was reading it live right at the goddamn placemat. As I learned more and grew more, as did my sacred space. So if you're in a space, if you're in a mind frame yet where you can't imagine having an altar, God forbid, because altars are only right at the Church of the Lord in Christ, right? Latter-day Saints, I feel you. So for those of you who are still uncomfortable having an altar in your home, I was beginning to build myself a sacred space, if you will, okay? Once you have your sacred space, I guess, you know what? It's beautiful that I can reference the church so much since a lot of us come from that. I don't know if you ever did it, but the first time I went to church so much when I was little that when I was a grown up, I didn't go. When I did go, I got a membership, and the motherfuckers actually make me work. Like, you gotta be here so many days, you gotta do so much stuff. Like, so I can't just sign up for the membership? Yeah, I was just signing up for the membership because somebody had told me that when you be at a church, in order for them to help you with your rent, if you ever need money, you have to be a member. So I didn't know if I just had to show up to be a member because y'all keep calling me a visitor and make me stand up week after week and shit. Yeah, you keep telling, I'm the one that been on the third row, you've been telling to turn to the neighbor? Right. Yeah, so that's why I had signed up for the membership, so I can get some helpmanship. Oh, say word? So no, I'm here for help. You said you need me to help you? No, I didn't come to be a fisher of men or builder of the building fund. The fuck? Listen. Listen. Get your sacred space at your house, okay? Get your sacred space at your motherfucking house, okay? Get your sacred space at your motherfucking house, alright? Anyway, just like when you're a member, you can't neglect the duties. You understand? We laughing, but that's the shit. When you're a member, you can't neglect the duties. When you're a mother, you can't neglect the duties. When you're an owner, you can't neglect the duties. When you're a healer, you can't neglect the duties. When you're a knower, you can't neglect the duties. Once you've built your sacred space, you cannot neglect it. If you do, immediately the neglect is reflected in your life. And so you just tell people, if you see a nigga car nasty, they desk nasty, you know they life nasty. If I go over there and your altar look like you ain't dusted that motherfucker, you've been burning frankincense since Frank was since, then listen. I know if you don't have time for your altar, if you don't have time for praise, you don't have time for worship, you don't have time for you. You don't have time for you. Remember, we said this, busyness is also a form of self-negligence, all right? Don't be too busy for you. What fire can you put out if you on fire? And you'd be like, who heals the healer? You do. You do. All right, let's get it popping. Let's keep on moving. We still got a lot of stuff to do. I done been on here with y'all asses for an hour. Feel like. Yeah. Definitely. The altar. Definitely. The sacred space. I keep mines with me. Well, yeah, people know it though. People know it. You see me with my bag. Alright, here we go. The planet is dying, but we can restore it to wellness by keeping our womb circles together and being committed to our womb wisdom, a wisdom that can rebirth us all. Strong black women. How often have you heard that black women have been made strong because we need our strength to carry on? Well, don't be too quick to buy into that. Recently, they've done a lot of research on melanin and how it holds everything. It holds the good, bad, and indifferent. And the stronger your melanin, the more you will hold emotions, chemicals, toxins. Listen, I don't want to be the one here to sit here and school you on melanin and shit, because I told y'all, as far as we know, it's not many black scientists that's getting that close to the sources. So a lot of us have to get it from the real sources, you know. But I will tell you that we needn't participate in the color war thing where because I'm darker, I feel like my melanin is richer. There's, while they're both in the same family or under the same umbrella, I'm learning that melanin is one thing and melanocyte is another, okay? Melanocytes are what make your skin dark, okay? So, yeah, don't think just because you out here, like, lighter than me, that I'm just more lit than you and shit. That's not. We reflections. All right, here we go. So it holds the good, bad, and indifferent, and the stronger your melanin, the more you will hold emotions, chemicals, toxins. When it's time to let go, other races with less melanin can release these things more easily, but our melanin holds on to all that. When things come up in your journal or in exchanges with your sister friends, you might tell yourself, I can share with my sisters and I know I'll be safe. I'm not going to go through any of this. But you will feel it and feel it deeply. So I'm just going to say what I want you to, I'm just going to say that I want you to rise as often as you're able while this is going on, between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. That's when your intuitive energy is flowing most strongly. That's when our power is at its peak. And within our ancient Kemetic African legacy, that is when Nefertet appears, the Interu who deals with the mystery, that inner voice, that inner dream state where you're able to connect to the source that knows all things. I'm going to give you that again, and then I'm going to tell you, if you commit it at this point, if you're up during the hours, if you're doing the meditation, increasing your length of meditation as the days go on, you're doing your inversions, we've talked about that, laying your floor on the back, kicking your legs up at a 45-degree angle. Like, you're having your tea, you're doing your meditations, you're reading, maybe not pouring libations yet. If you've begun yet to honor yourself and source, if you've begun already to honor yourself and source, journaling and all of the other things that we've covered, if you've already started, then you've already begun to see the reward. If you haven't seen the reward, go harder, go harder, go harder, go harder, and look for your increase. I want you to rise as often as you're able while this is going on between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. That's when your intuitive energy is flowing most strongly. That's when our power is at its peak, and within our ancient Kemetic African legacy, that is when Nefertet appears, the Interu who deals with the mystery, that inner voice, that inner dream state where you're able to connect to the source that knows all things. All right, here we go. Page 56 if you're following. Page 56 if you're following. I cry a river of tears that heal. One special and extraordinarily powerful ceremony that our sacred circle carried out on behalf of the wounded women of the world was a healing ritual in which we went deeply into our pain and processed it on behalf of all women. Much like the core poem for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow was enough. In this ritual, all the women in the sacred circle act as a chorus. Individual women tell each of the stories, but the entire chorus chants, I cry a river of tears that heal. You can use this basic idea and ask the women in your circle to contribute their own special offerings, praying for deep release and deep healing. I cry a river of tears that heal, for crying is good and tears are holy. Crying creates room for healing to take place. Crying clears our vision so that we can see the inner desires of our heart. Crying releases and unites. Crying flushes out the unnatural and makes space for the mystical. Crying renews, listen, wait, because this is for my brothers, right? I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I know. You 30, you 40, you 50 and shit, and you don't cry because real niggas gonna cry. Right. Whatever the fuck that is. But listen, before you was a real nigga, 30, 40, 50 years ago when you was born, your cry is how we knew what to do. You understand that? Your cry is what let us know. Your cry is what let me know that I had done my job. You were here. You were alive and well. You were breathing. From the moment you were born. Like I said, they didn't look to see if he's blinking. Can you see if he's blinking? Can you see if his dick's flopping? No, they wasn't seeing none of that. They wanted to hear you cry, brother. That's how they knew that you were alive. And that's how I knew to feed you. That's how I knew to nurture you. That's how I knew to hold you, to heal you, to put you down, to let you walk, to push you. Your crying is what told me how to help you. And then somebody told you that you're less of a man if you cry. And I didn't know how to help you. And I didn't know when to help you. And now you've been out here without my help for so long. If in fact, listen, brother, as far as I've studied and as far as I've read, it's two primary ways that you get in good and wash your spirit right the fuck away. One of them is a sacred bath, baptizing your physical ass. And the next one is a crying, tears, to cleanse the spirit, to wash the spirit. So sadly, I know a slew of brothers and all of them feel like they too grown or too big to sit their ass in a bathtub, and they haven't. And they also too grown men to cry. So you just were out here toxic by the spirit and don't even know. Wondering why shit's so fucked up, why shit's so hard. Let that shit out. Crying, good tears are holy. Crying creates room for healing to take place. Crying clears our vision so that we can see the desires of our heart. Crying releases and unites. Crying flushes out the unnatural and makes space for the mystical. Crying renews and restores and opens us up to all possibilities. Our souls are washed by our tears. Our souls are washed by our tears. Our souls are washed by our tears. I used to think that crying clouded my vision. In my old life, I would actually say that to myself. I would be heartbroken and crying, and I would tell myself, stop crying. As long as you're crying, you can't see clearly. As long as you're crying, you can't see clearly. And correct, that was before I knew how to find my increase. Now that I know that any and everything that happens to me is to my benefit, surely this crying isn't to cloud my vision. Surely this crying isn't to impair my vision, but to improve my vision. And that's peace. Now I know it's a cleansing. Our souls are washed by our tears. Crying humbles us to the ways of the Creator. Ever cried happy tears? You ever cried happy tears? You ever been so in love or been so amazed that you cry happy tears? That's peace. Crying humbles us to the ways of the Creator. When we cry from our womb so deep, brother, when we cry from our core, we honor and baptize ourselves. Women, sisters, our womb is made whole again through the libation of our tears. All right. I cry a river of tears that heal for Ankh Ra, whose mother and grandmother, like many women of color in Trinidad, West Indies, went to the hospital for what they were led to believe was a routine surgical appendectomy, only to have their wombs removed instead. Much time passed before they found out that they were victims of a stolen womb, a deceitful tragedy performed by physicians they had trusted with their lives. Neither will be the same. I cry a river of tears for the dear young sister who could have been my daughter. She was sexually molested from the age of 7 by her father and her uncle, her father's brother. No one ever seemed to notice what tragedy had befallen this little girl. In the end, years of pain and grief led her to contract cancer of the womb. She died at the age 29 from a broken heart and a broken womb. May her soul finally rest in peace. I cry a river of tears that heal for what is known as female genital mutilation, female castration, or female circumcision, all terms used to describe an African tradition of cutting away the clitoris when a young girl is approaching adulthood. In reading of female genital mutilation, I wept, for the clitoris is so sensitive like a flower. If touched with reverence, it can send you into ecstasy, but a slight blow to the clitoris can send shock waves of infinite discomfort throughout the body. Countless women have endured this castration where their legs are forcefully parted by the elder women who perform the procedure. This vaginal womb crime perpetuates a tradition that causes agonizing suffering. How can women hurt women so deeply? I cry a river of tears that heal for the Negro slave woman, my great-great-grandmother who was forced to part her thighs for the entrance of a pale pink penis to fulfill her owner's demonic quest to force his way violently into her soft, dark womb, leaving his, "Pardon me, I can't breathe. I'm still enraged 200 years later. I still hurt. I still bleed. I'm outraged. feeling fear and helplessness for all my great-great-grandmothers who passed their self-hate, lack of self-esteem, their acceptance of abuse, their internal war down through the bloodline to me. My womb still pains at the thought of the rape of all the women of my race. My grandmother's rape, I scream. My mother's rape, I shout. My auntie's rape, my sister's rape, my daughter's rape, my rape, I cry out our pain. I cry a river of tears that heal for all the wombs that could not hear or bear the pains that life inflicts, the wombs that gave up and made their transition. These losses occurred because the keeper of the womb was ignorant in the ways of healing herself. I cry because through the ages, mothers lost the wisdom and confidence that they knew how to heal their own and their daughters' wombs. I cry into my cup of tea, and my tears act as a tonic and release for my soul's ascension. When I think of women's stories of blood-filled pain, the tears from my heart fall like vast waters of the Nile. I hear the unheard voices of these women's wombs, and I cry a river of tears that heal. I cry a river of tears that heal for wombs that carried on after put-downs, the beatings, the rapes, the disrespect, the womb muggings, all causes of planetary chaos reflected in women's debilitated womb conditions. I cry for wombs that carried on after the red flood of days and months of bleeding and the white discharges and the grip of the contractions. I cry for the merciful release of wombs rebirthing themselves. I cry a river of tears that heal for the women who carried on after the wars and womb castration and womb scars of incest, oozing with pain, shame, and regret. I cry for wombs that carried on after babies were born and after babies died inside of the womb. I cry for wombs that carried on after radiation and laser attacks to eliminate the tumors, filled with the mucus and waste of the hate, anger, and vexation of the spirit trapped in the womb, the holy nest. I cry a river of tears that heal over men and women to wash away our womb exhaustion. For although we keep on keeping on, we've had to bear so much through our wombs. It's a wonder we're still standing. Holy Spirit, Olodumare, why it gotta be so hard being a woman? I am the African woman crying out my pain, screaming and retching rivers of tears from generation to generation. My tears boil up from the bile of plantation slave life here in America the beautiful. Here where institutionalized sex factories were brutally imposed upon a stolen people for generations. I cry for the soft wombs and damaged souls of my mothers who were forced to bear babies of rage and incest. They were womb casualties in a 400-year war that damaged them down to their DNA. The wounds go oh so deep within the wombs of the women folk of my tribe. Our wombs still choke and stammer, fight and flee. Mother, help me. I'm praying without ceasing for renewed wombs to bring in a future so bright that they draw to themselves respect, gratitude, grace, and love. To women who go on suffering from womb crimes, I say, tighten up your loins and purify and fast and pray until you see a change in every corner of your life, until you see light all about you. My tears honor those wombs that carried us all, that carried on after womb alienation and mutilation, wombs that carried on even after self-inflicted and societal womb violations, wombs that carried on with only one ovary left to fend for itself due to inner toxicity. I cry a river of tears that may not heal in this generation for the rape of Nanking in China during their World War II Holocaust at the hands of the Japanese. Tears flowed into the lap of a woman whose soul flew away through her womb when all that made her a woman was beaten out of her as her thighs were tied to each side of a rape chair to be repeatedly attacked by Japanese soldiers. Tears continue to flow to a joint river for the subhuman soldier who took a metal rod and rammed it through a woman's womb as she lay helplessly naked in the streets of her homeland. Somebody's daughter and somebody's mother go right on suffering, caught up in the flames of war. And will there ever be enough tears to heal the women of Bosnia who were ruthlessly forced to sexually service the soldiers inside of rape camps? a diabolical institutionalized machinery that cranked out wounded wombs and destroyed all possibility of life. I cry a river of tears for our daughters who yearn for peace within their wombs. I cry. I can finish this, Snotty, right? I cry soul tears of truth and vision, hope and praise for the resurrection of the sacred wombs of the first women. My tears cry a river of healing rays of lapis lazuli, emerald, and energizing malachite as they dance on the vision of newfound, prayed up, purified up, joyous wombs, sacred wombs lifted up by us women and protected by our holy men, our good men. This womb vision offers us a future so bright that it sends crystal clear light throughout the land in a tide of deliverance. I cry a river of tears that heal with all the women all over the planet Earth. May our collective tears become pure light and transform into the wings that fly our souls, like Heru the falcon, through a global ocean of redemption to heal and baptize the earth. My Lord, my Creator. Mut asked, and Mother Mary bless all your daughters in the womb, in the whole world, especially the dark woman of the womb, the eldest mother. Mother asked, protect our wombs throughout our life journey so that we women may age gracefully and beautifully inside of our sacred selves. I cry a river of tears that heal. Now we can roll out of the river and into the healing mud. As our womb draws the nourishment from the earth, we face the sun and get charged. We dance by the river and wash our wombs, reborn sacred women, moving into our original divine womb-like state. All hail to the mothers who held and nurtured us so that we could be delivered to the planet through our constant attentiveness to the great womb. Thank you, Mother, Father, Creator. I offer these words in gratitude for keeping us and growing us like tall trees, for loving us and caring for all your ignorant children who may have been deaf to our body's plea and numb to our pain. Dearest Mother, Father, Creator, may we all be delivered, encouraged, and inspired to make a massive world womb change. If there is no change in the global attitude toward women's wombs, it will be impossible to find peace on earth. If there is no change, war and slavery and the injustices done to humans will always rule. So I cry tears of praise and honor, respect and gratitude, grace and love to those wombs that have made their transition into the next world, and to those wombs that survived. Ashe. All right. Okay. Yeah, that was emotionally draining. Give me a second. Let me get me some tissue. All right. Okay, that's peace, and I didn't have to go too far. Hold on. All right. All right. You see me. The point in this is so you see no green. Yeah. Sure enough, I'm still here with Bob, but I suspect he should be leaving soon. Alright. Okay. Alright. So that was peace, right? Thank you for sharing the video too, Indigo. You always come through and sharing video no matter when you come through, and that's peace. That's it. Likes and loves are beautiful, but I don't give a fuck about a like or love. I want us to get the memo. You understand? I want us to get the memo. Because what they said is true. They found some good shit and they hid that shit from us in a book, and I have found them. I've been going through every one of the books since I got that memo that they hid some shit in the book. I've been going through every one of them to find out exactly what was hid. And boy, the gems in this one. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. All right, tomorrow we'll pick up on page 59. Mother Newt blessing and womb rituals, meditations, affirmations, chants, and prayers. So that's peace. Let me give you this affirmation, and we're going to get on out of here. That's peace. I get to close out with 27 viewers. That's my 9. All right, I love y'all. All right, here we go. Yeah, man, y'all are so good to me. You really are. Teamwork. Oh, no, I didn't even tell you this. Because, hold on, let me show you in case you missed it. I gotta show you. Wait a minute. Okay. Alright, so, this is, I have to do a separate video, so, it's peace though. I posted an earring yesterday, and I could come on here and tell you, am I worth $8 an hour to y'all or not? Would you say $8 an hour is a fair amount of money for me to get? $8? No? Okay, right. Cause when I be working on these earrings and shit, it take a lot to take it from this to this. You understand? It take a lot to take it from this to this. You understand what I'm saying? To take it from this to this. You see her hand. Okay? Alright. So a sister messaged me yesterday. She said, I want the earring. I said, it's $63 for that one, sis. Shipping included, but that's $63. That's the next thing. My 9. Like, if it's some shit to take me 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's peace. You could pay $5 and 10 minutes for it, plus shipping. But if it take me hours, it's definitely going to be a 9. And when I say a 9, it's going to be 36, it's going to be 63, it's going to be 54, it's going to be 45. Yeah, and it's going to depend on whether or not I'm doing it again and how much of time it took me. So, right. Who else, where else you going to get that? I mean, you can go do it yourself, yeah, but where else are you going to get it, though? Who else is selling you the earring where your RBG queen is getting her private moment on, and you see the private moment, though? She said, but I can't spend almost no $100 on no earring. And that's peace too, sis. That's peace too. That's peace too. I wouldn't encourage you to spend $100 on earrings. I wouldn't. I sure wouldn't. Not you now, because everybody ain't able, sis. Everybody is not able. Everybody is not able. And peace and power too to the sister who messaged me right behind that. She's like, are they still available? And because me and her cool, I'm like, yeah, shit, I'm sitting here blow. All I said was, yeah, I'm sitting here blow because one sister liked the ticket too high and one sister like, can I hold it till the first? Like, my children don't want to eat before the first. You know what I mean? And she like, oh, tell both of them sisters this peace and this love, sis, that money sent. Oh, like my 8-year-old or my 4-year-old would do. The fuck? Yeah, man, like, that's a try. Like, especially, sister, you make buttercreams and shit. Like, can we be real for a minute? Can we be real for a minute? Buttercreams are everywhere. Right? If you got online right now today, like, right now, if you close out Facebook and got online right now, you could get shea buttercreams from you or 60 other women. You're not about to get the RBG lady playing with herself. You're not about to get that. You're not about to get this orgasmic piece that's labeled after your girl. You're not about to get this energy, sis. Please, run me my fucking money. Bitch, my office hours are like Big Red from 9 to 5. I love you. Yeah, don't do that though, sis. Yeah, don't do that. And it was crazy is, because, I be replying sometimes before I even realize what the fuck I said. And I said to her, oh, shit, I already know my sister's going to be on that bullshit, but people who don't know me will support me. Damn, I didn't even realize I said that. True story. The fuck? Anyway, I'm working on a piece to go with my mermaid now. And yeah, she got a bun. She not fucking around. Yeah. Fuck they thought this was. Yeah, I just love my people. Damn, I do gotta say this though, sis. I hope you. Well, I know if you grown, you'll hear this and it'll be peace. If you haven't grown, you'll hear this and you'll think it's something petty, and I'll probably get blocked. But the truth is, a couple months ago, sis, you spent between $15,000 and $40,000 to some white folks. Is it important that they white? Yes, because as it turns out, we've got some conditioning that we can't ignore. Okay, you paid between $15,000 and $40,000 to some white folks. They didn't give you a goddamn thing. They didn't give you a building. They didn't give you a license. They didn't give you a motherfucking thing. From what I understood is, they gave you one of them invisible fucking memberships. The thing we just discussed, like at the church. They gave you a membership. They gave you an opportunity to show up and commit to some shit. You gonna get to show up at some seminars and shit. You gonna get from them all the fuck these people gonna give you for your 15 to 40,000, motherfucker. You be like, they got the connection. All the fuck they giving you is their time and their energy, and your ass paid $15,000 to $40,000 for it. Their time and their energy. And you ain't asked them shit about, man, I can't run clothes. I can't get clothes to my clothes. I ain't got no clothes to no 100,000. Man, get the fuck out of here. I love you, but I hope you realize that was some fuck shit. Yeah, I realized it right away, but because of the way my chill is set up since I've been with Say, I don't have none. I don't have none. I'm not even gonna lie. He's made me better, but my hey cow, you already know it was a struggle before. Baby, like, get free. Yeah, I have less chill than I had before. I love you. Alright, Lashana, this one is not a 9-piece. Shauna, this one 35. This one 35. The mermaid joint. I ain't even do nothing on the other piece, but I'll do the Pisces on it if you want. Just inbox me. Just don't tell me to wait till the first, okay? Please don't tell me to wait till See, I can't order Pizza Hut and tell them niggas just come back on the first. Or I can't walk out the goddamn grocery store with the girls be like, nigga, we need these beans and hot dogs today, nigga. But on the first, nigga, on the first, be clank clank. Take that ass in by the bean and rice. Okay. Alright, I gotta go. I love y'all though. Peace.